All right. Think I'm back. We'll see if anybody else shows back up again. You can get your Instagram and let Joneser know I'm back up and running. I am back. All right, we'll see if Joneser's going to show up. Let's see me get my cam rebooted here. All right. Alright, I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. I'm having to do a little bit of jiggery pokery here. Error, YouTube not receiving enough video to maintain smooth stream. As such, viewers will experience buffer. My internet is fucked. Alright. Go here, deactivate, activate. Alright, there I'm back moving again. Okay. Go over here. Open widget. Viewers will experience buffering. I've got a poor stream status. I don't know if anybody's going to show back up or not. I don't know if anybody's there or not. Go back over here to the studio here. Come back up here. I'm waiting on Joneser to come back. Yep, we got some folks coming back. There's Mrs. Weird Fantastic Toys there. I've got a bit rate that's lower than my recommended bit rate right now because the internet is fucked. And that is what's going on. So back over here. Joneser is not back in the room yet. I'm going to go back over here to what I had up before. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, Internet Gremlins. Yeah, y'all tell me how I look and sound. According to YouTubies, I'm having a stream issue. It says my connection's good now, so we'll see. I'm glad you guys came back. I don't know if everybody's going to be back or not, so we'll just have to see what goes here. Try to get the chat going back again. Waiting on Joneser to come back. I just IM'd him and told him that I am back. So hopefully Joneser will be back later. Oh, you're good. You're so good, says Nightwing. Well, thank you. Audio is good. I hope the video's smooth too. Missing Joneser, me too. Refresh this and see if that chat will start coming in. Pulling that up to live chat. Yeah, Joneser is missing because he is not in my control room at the moment. Going over here to the control room, he is not arrived. So I'm waiting on Joneser to come back as well, but I can continue the show as we are going right now. So sorry about that. Good to see Miss Paula here with us. She's at work. We'll have to work tonight. We'll be off tomorrow, but I have to work tomorrow night. And I can't get the chat on the screen right now, but I can see what you guys are saying. So welcome back, says George Valentine. Second time's a charm, say Chance Hammer. Welcome back, says Radical Mom. Audio fine on my end, says George Valentine. Paula says hi. You was offline, says Nightwing. Yeah, my internet went. It did that earlier today, about 30 minutes before showtime, and I was there's Joneser. Hey man, can we hear you?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can, so that means they probably can.
Am I there?
All right, so we're back again. At first, when I finally got the stream back restarted, YouTube's told me that I was having a bad bit rate. Yeah, had a bad morning, no lights. Yeah, there's something going on. I don't know what it is, but I had a bad
Squirrel
morning.
bit through line.
Yeah, there's Paula saying she had a bad morning on lights. My chat finally got started back up. Now, I'm back to what we were talking about before we got so rudely interrupted by the internet gremlins who decided to come in and give me hell. Where'd it go? 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 Where'd it go?
Hello, it's me.
And Joneser, you're good and all clear, says Radical Mom. Very good. Thank you, Radical Mom. Oh, I just pulled this screen up when you popped out, and that was my clue that the stream had stopped.
Well, it was really funny from my end. I didn't realize anything was wrong, and then you were just gone, and it was just me, but it still said on air. And so there was probably a good 5 minutes of me trying to entertain the crowd, and I don't think it got out there, but I was giving my commentary on things and singing and dancing and romancing and trying to buy you some time, my brother, but you just weren't gone.
Yeah, I know, but what happened was the stop stream when OBS stopped talking to YouTube's, it stopped the stream. It gave me some buffer, but once it said okay, he's not connected anymore, it killed the stream. Hey, John says hello there. Sounds like I missed all the fun. Yeah. Anyway, Bizarro is a repaint, much needed, as I said. The Aquaman Gold Chase, I think we already covered this, but I'm gonna cover it again. Joneser's got an echo. That's my fault.
Well, I could do my bit to help. Give me a sec. See if this changes matters, or at least helps matters.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull some jiggery pokery over here as well to try to control some of Joneser's echo.
Yo, at least Bill won't echo in my mic now, so we could fix that.
Well, the echo is not on your end; it's on mine. It's my mic picking up you, causing you to echo. Sorry, guys. Sounds like you're at a ballpark.
Me?
Yeah, that's my mic picking him up over here. Let me go.
Sunday, we're bringing Sunday, we're
I'm going to fix a certain setting over here to help control that. All right, that should do it. I'm gonna turn your noise gate on as well.
She's saying it sounds good there now, so maybe you did something right. I don't know.
I did. I went in the control room. I got your noise gate on, and I put on your voice isolation, so you should be fine. Sounds good here now.
See, usually, if I can't help, then I'll just make it worse, and I'll just be like, Sunday, Fisto, hey, man. You know?
Yeah, you're back, Daniel. You didn't miss anything. It was my internet crapped out on me. It happened about 30 minutes before showtime, and we thought that maybe it wouldn't happen again, but no, it did again. So I told Jones, I said, the dogs must be peeing on the light pole outside.
The show's so nice, we had to do it twice.
Yeah. All right, so the Aquaman Gold Chase variant, I don't care anything about these gold variants that they're doing. I just do not. Thank you. Got that. Will Aquaman just be the gold scale suit, or are they making him Jason Momoa? It's the same Aquaman that's already come out in this line, and they're just going to paint his ass gold, just like they did the Flash one and the Superman one and all the rest. It's that one right there. He's just going to be all gold. This is Toddy Mac's way of making money and reusing those molds over and over and over again.
Well, and that's good, just good business if we're being honest. But there's probably some fans out there that like these gold variants, but you cannot count Joneser among them.
Yeah, absolutely. There are, and I have seen them on the Facebook or Bookface or whatever. So Now,
Right.
here we got Batman black and gray variant. Didn't they already do that with anime Batman?
I don't know. Batman, and Batman. Here's my problem. I'm sick of seeing Batman repaints, but here's the obvious answer. That figure alone probably sells more than all the other figures combined.
Sure it does.
I never see Batman on the shelf in any form of any of the variants.
Did Spin Masters do gold figures, John? You tell me, because I can't answer that question, my brother. But yeah, that's the thing. That started with the Dark Knight collection. We found out that, like some figures in other lines, the more you put of them in various different costumes, the more it sells.
Sure. Well, and Batman being as popular of a character and figure as he is, like I said, I'm sure he outsells all the other ones added together. And just by my own, I can never find one. Even the Thomas Wayne Batman, or the only Batman I seem to have found on the shelf easily was the Batman Who Laughs, and now you can't even find him.
Let me answer Gojitron here, at least get him on the screen. And he says that they'll probably do a black and gray Batman on the Detective Batman book. That Manga Batman was on the Hush book, which is correct. So, yeah, I could see that. I'm not after black and gray Batman. That black and white Batman I don't need. I'm good with Detective Batman. Now we got Riddler here. Now the question I got is: are they going to put him on a Green Lantern buck, or are we going to get a whole new sculpt for Riddler? See, I like that Riddler fine. Now that's one of the few of the Toy Biz figures that I actually like. Oh yeah, 90s Batman got all sorts of suits and colors and suits. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they had them in pink and purple and anything you could put them in. But as far as these new figures, Bill, I'm interested in Bizarro and Riddler, and that's it. And the Riddler will only be if it's cooler than that Riddler I already got.
Okay.
If it's not, then I'm not going to get it.
I'm probably going to get the Riddler. I'm probably going to get Bizarro. I'm not getting any of those gold figures at all. The Batman is probably going to be an out as well. The classic Superman, I'm like Daniel St. John says, Bill hoping those Batman black and gray and the classic Superman are both in the Kenner style book and not those repaint of the original two. So I agree. I think they're going to put this classic Superman on a Detective Batman buck with the wider leg stance that kind of so he matches the original Superpowers design. I'll get that, and I won't. I'll retire the Superman that came out first in this line when I do that. And last but not least, we have the Justice Society of America 3-pack Starman, Green Lantern, Owlman. You know I'm all in on that, brother. Right. Yeah, that book right there. I never liked that to begin with. That's the one that another YouTuber spent about 30 minutes ranting on this whole line about. I'll leave it at that. So there's that. Now, let's see. Do I still have that available over here? I need to get that up. Hold on. So that I don't show you my control room. Boom. There we go.
All right.
Now let's see if this is going to show up here.
Now, what is this that we're going to see?
All right, let me see. There we go. So we're going to go over here to Toy Habits website. This is run by Toy Sorceress for the Toy Habits channel, and I think that they've decided that they want to blog more than they do stream and do stuff like that. So their breaking news on Toy Habits was the Superpowers Wave 8 revealed. And we've got some pictures here that we're going to get to look at, courtesy of them. Thank you. So she says that some of the latest McFarlane Superpowers Wave 8 figures were revealed at Phonic Fan Fusion. So In Pursuit of Toys on Instagram posted these images. So thank you, In Pursuit of Toys on Instagram, for these pictures. And so what we're showing off here is going to be Booster Gold, Batman Dark Knight Returns, Batman Fleischer, Green Lantern Guy Gardner, the black variant Manta, Black Manta. So, and special thanks to Toy Habits crew members Brennan Barnes and the Baroness of Toys, and also Toy Hunter Hollow for the heads up here. So let's take a look at them. So this was what was put on the presentation screen. So this was courtesy of In Pursuit of Toys. Daniel St. John says, I'm with you, Bill, all in on the JSA figures. I only hope that they too are in the Kenner style. Look how well they've sculpted Booster Gold and Guy Gardner. Yes. Yeah, they have. It looks a lot better. Go ahead.
I completely agree with that. Guy Gardner especially pops when you see all those images together. That one stands out to me.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about that. Now I know that another friend of mine who's collecting this line is not really that excited about Guy Gardner, but I am, because I was big into the Justice League International, the what is known as the Wahaha era of Justice League, and Booster Gold to go with Blue Beetle. That's a plus. Guy Gardner, so Batman can knock him out with one punch. That's a plus. Now we need a Black Canary figure to sit there and laugh our ass off when that happens, right? You listening, Todd?
Right.
Black Canary, we need it. I'm not as pleased with that Fleischer Superman. I don't like that head sculpt. It's not the Fleischer head sculpt to me at all. And look, they put it on that damn old buck. So
I wasn't gonna get that figure anyway. I'm most excited for this for Guy Gardner and Black Manta. And Black Manta because I couldn't get one. I couldn't find one. Walmart, in its ever all-knowing capacity, thought they could exclusive it and then just not have it.
And of course, Toy Habits is here. He's got a lot to say about Booster Gold, fictional superhero, American comic books, DC Comics, created by Dan Jurgens. First appeared in Booster Gold #1, 1986. I did not collect Booster Gold standalone comic book, but I did like the way he was portrayed in Justice League. Don't tell me I just lost my fucking internet again. God damn it. Oh, there's Joneser. Oh, thank God. I thought I'd lost the internet again, Joneser. Are you there?
Oh, no. Yeah, I'm here. I just had to bend down and throw something away.
Well, your camera went away, and all I saw was your image underneath your picture when your cam's not active, and I went, shit.
No, I closed the camera to bend down and throw the thing away so you guys didn't have to see like the back of my ass or something.
Well, this is not the day for that shit, Jones. Or I'm on the edge of my seat right now, thinking I'm going to get knocked off of here again. Okay, so we had the tease with Booster Gold right here. When we saw his figure inside the bug on the bug's box. So when we saw that, we said, okay, that means we're getting a Booster Gold figure. We were all excited. So look what we have here. We have what the packaging is going to look like. There's his logo. There's a nice picture of him. It looks like it was done by Dan Jurgens. And there is the figure. Now, the only gripe that I have with both Blue Beetle and Booster Gold was, and maybe this is a cost-cutting measure, but if you notice his visor there is just painted, just like Blue Beetle's eyes were just painted. I would have preferred some clear plastic there, and you could see his eyes underneath that clear plastic.
Well, the thing is, Bill, if they were to do stuff like that, then you're not going to be getting these figures for $10.
I know
it's the price point. If they're going to make the price point, they got to do what they got to do, or you got to open your wallet and pay for better ones.
Yes, and I totally understand that, but I can still be gripey about it.
Oh, of course. As nerds, we reserve the right to be gripey, to complain about things that we enjoy.
So here we have a picture of what Superman looked like in the classic, probably one of the best renditions of Superman ever cartoons. And as you can see, he's got a red belt with a yellow belt buckle. I thought it was black, but I guess I was wrong. And he's got, of course, the red S on a black background with a yellow outline S on his chest. And we've seen this design a million times. And at the time that this was done, none of Superman's look that we know of today was set in stone. He was in a state of flux, and he looked more like this in his comics than anything else at that time. Would you agree, Jones?
I would. This is iconic. This was the most iconic Superman until Christopher Reeves took over and made that the most iconic Superman.
Yeah, well, Christopher Reeve looked like he stepped right out the cover of Action Comics to me. But anyway, so there we have what he's supposed to look like, and then we have this shitty fucking book right here. That why couldn't, if they're going to do a classic Superman that looks more like the original Superpowers figure, why can't they use that book for this? Maybe they just didn't have it ready yet. I don't know. Hopefully this is a prototype and it will look better than this when it comes. I do not like that head sculpt, Joneser.
Well, no, it's the same one that they put on the other Superman and every other Superman. I don't think Superman's had a new or different head sculpt the whole way. It's been the same one the whole time, right?
Correct. Now I'm looking at a larger screen than what you guys are here because I'm actually looking at the website. That S on his chest looks almost like that it's sculpted onto the figure. It looks raised. It doesn't look like it's embossed or anything like that. It looks like it's actually sculpted and painted. I could be wrong, and that could be because this probably is a prototype. And I'm going to move on down to the next one here. Here's the Dark Knight Returns Batman, and that's what he looked like. Not in the comic, but in the cartoon version. But that's close enough to what Frank Miller was doing there in Dark Knight Returns. That's about what he looked like. Not in the first issue, but I think this design showed up in what the third or issue and the fourth issue of that Prestige Formats limited series.
Dark Knight Returns?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's just another excuse to repaint Batman and sell him again.
And once again, that's the Hush Batman buck that they put him on. But that, I guess that's okay because that buck was a little bigger. And basically, it's just another repaint. Once again, that chest emblem doesn't look embossed. It actually looks like it's painted on there. And once again, I think this is a damn prototype that we're looking at here.
Well, Bill, one thing I want to point out here. Can you scroll back up to the Superman one? I want to point something out with that, and then I'll point something out with the Batman right there. Okay, now you look at that figure, and then you look at the artwork. The side, the artwork looks way buffer than the figure, right? Now scroll down to that Batman, and you look at the figure, and the artwork to the side does not look like that Batman above it. He's puny and skinny compared to that. If this is supposed to be the Dark Knight Batman, why is the art image next to him look like that? That's not the Dark Knight Returns Batman, right there. No, it's not.
And look, they're using that the Bronze Age Batman logo from the comics here as well. This doesn't fit very well at all.
No, it does not.
Oh man, same head, yes. And Gap After Dark. Hey, Bill Jones, or hello all. Hey man, sorry about the stream gap. We're gonna have 2 streams today, but that's okay. Glad everybody showed back up. I don't even have the studio back up again on this computer. I'll let y'all sit there and look at Batman for a minute while I pull this studio up over here so I can see who's here and who's not and whatnot.
Well, sure, Bill. When we get to the other end of this slide here, I got a little something I want to go that goes along with superpowers in the future and whatnot.
Sure. Yeah, we'll get there. We're just going to look through this Toy Habits website. Once again, I want to shout out Toy Habits. This is where it's coming from. So you go over to toyhabits.com/McFarlane-DC-Superpowers-Wave-8-Revealed. And you can see exactly what I'm looking at here. The Doctor of Dragon Studies. Hello, sir. Brand new watcher here says, I just dropped in to say, hey, my dad showed me the old 40s Superman cartoons. Good stuff. Absolutely good stuff. Thank you for being here. Smash that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Thank you for being here with us. Moving on down, we have Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, and of course, there is the picture that was on the screen at that con. I do not like this picture that they've chosen for him. I like the more Justice League era look with the bowl haircut up there. And of course,
absolutely,
here is the Black Manta with the black suit. It says comic version. So I guess the blue one is Legion of Doom version, and they're calling this comic version, and they're doing that in the hopes that I'm going to buy this repaint. I won't, because I have the original one. But all of you guys that could not find him, you have your second chance at having one. And he's saying comic version, so you can go around saying, look, mine's better than yours, Bill, because mine looks like the one in the comic and yours don't. There you go.
I mean, to me, I just want to have one.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I think the blue one looks better, to be honest with you, but I would accept this without having to pay 40.
And man, we've come a long way since all those came out, huh? But yeah, there's a picture of a Black Manta figure that has nothing to do with this one up here. But so that takes care of that. Let me go over here and I'm gonna give Joneser his due here. He's gonna come up on the screen and he's going to talk to you guys.
Real quick, I was gonna say that when the Superpowers new reveals were coming out, there were 3 figures on my wish list for those Superpowers new ones that are coming out, especially the villain side of things, that I would have loved to have seen, and we're still waiting on. And so the first one being, and I don't think it should be Hit Me in the Head Lex Luthor, but we should get a Lex Luthor in the green and purple suit. You know, is it really a Superpowers line without Lex Luthor? Well, where is this figure and why are we still looking for him? And then next, of course, I can't believe we've got so many Batmans and no Joker. Now, I don't know if it should be this Joker that comes out. This was a Toy Biz, and the Superpowers Joker probably for today's audience would look a little dated. Yeah. But we should have a Joker for Toddy Max line, you know, and then also one that was a big presence in the Superpowers line, original line, but you haven't seen is the Penguin. And again, I don't think it should be this Penguin, but we should have a Penguin. And I think much like the Superpowers Joker, the Superpowers Penguin probably, it's by today's audience, looks a little dated, but that Superpowers Penguin was so iconic a look. I almost hope they do go back to that one. What do you think, Bill? That was all I had for that.
Okay, I'm with you on the ones that you want from the original line, and I think that they're going to happen, and I think you're absolutely correct. When we get them, much like what we've gotten before, these figures are going to look a little different than what you got originally in the Superpowers line, okay? So, you know, there's Brainiac, and we're not going to get a robotic Brainiac in this line. I can guarantee you, probably not. If you do see, now I know you got some outliers like Green Lantern, which is basically just a straight up resculpt. But they're going to give you some variation to give you some value for your money. And I do think that the Penguin probably needs to have a better book than the original Superpowers book. I was never satisfied with that book to begin with. It was stupid looking. As far as Joker goes, I think we're going to see a more comic nowadays accurate looking Joker or than we did back in the Superpowers line. That Joker in that Superpowers line was based strictly on the style guide. Speaking of which, I just got my email from Standards Manual. If you guys are aware, Standards Manual had gotten their hands on a very pristine and complete copy of the actual 1982 style guide, and they are making a hardcover book that will come out in August. Cost $100, $99 and some change, and it is up for pre-order right now on the Standards Guide site. Let me go through some chat real quick here and catch up because I'm not seeing it on my screen. So, Dr. Dragon Studies came in, then Gilster came in. Hello, Gilster. Good to see you, sir. War Made of Cardboard says, so they're just compiling multiple versions of Batman into one for this figure. Exactly. Gilster said he would like a Green Hornet and Kato in the Superpowers line. You're not going to see that in Superpowers line, but I can guarantee you that if somebody like Toyota got his hands on that license, you would see that either in Power Stars or in the other one. What is that other line? Long Box Heroes. There we go. Gap After Dark. Good to see you, sir. Dr. Dragon says that does not look like Green Lantern to me. No, that is the Guy Gardner version of Green Lantern. He was very popular back in the 80s as a member of the Justice League. That'd be after Crisis. He was originally in the Green Lantern comic book back in the Bronze Age, if I'm not mistaken. He was going to be the alternate Green Lantern, but he got hit by a bus and got brain damaged and went to the hospital. So the Ring had to pick another alternate Green Lantern, and it was John Stewart. Am I correct on that, Joneser?
As far as I know, I wasn't a big Green Lantern comic book reader, so
if I'm wrong, Goji will correct me if he's still watching. We may have lost him when no, he's still here. No Skits, yeah, no Skits, Gojitron, no Skits, brother. Mike V, when will pre-order start? Hopefully very soon. I would say this month the pre-orders are going to start on that. The wave 8. Now wave 9, that's on down the road, folks. Jeff says they just believe in variants, not in original characters. Yeah.
They're trying to keep the lights on. They're trying to keep the lights on and trying to keep the money rolling. That's what it is. It's just business.
Walmart's took the planogram down for it, so they're not being sold in Walmart anymore. So they're relying upon online sales and GameStop only right now. It's not in Target either.
See, when a line's not at retail, it struggles to survive.
Joneser is correct. We need Joker, Penguin, and Lex Luthor and other DC villains. I can almost, with accuracy, guarantee you that you're going to see a Lex Luthor that looks like Legion of Doom, Lex Luthor, and Bronze Age Lex Luthor in this line eventually if it stays around long enough. Agreed?
Yeah, I sorry, I just got sidetracked looking at Gojatron's comment. He's saying he thinks that Dark Knight Batman is not meant to be the Dark Knight Returns Batman. That's probably why the discrepancy in the artwork.
And what Batman is he meant to be with that big old bat on his chest like that?
Well, they did a comic run of where he had that look, but not that overly Hulk-looking design.
I'm inclined to go along with Gojitron simply because he's always right.
It made sense to me because that is not the artwork to jive with a Dark Knight Returns Batman for sure.
And I also agree with Mike B. We're happy that they're at the price point they are because they're still affordable and not $25 a figure. And Gojitron says that I am correct on Guy Gardner, so I was right about Guy Gardner. He had brain damage, and then when he recovered in this is post-crisis stuff here now, folks. I mean, crisis had happened. Oil was destroyed, and the Green Lantern Corps had been decimated, and one of the remaining alive Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians or whatever they were called, the little blue men up there on Oa, came to Earth, and I think he was a rogue one, and he had a ring in his hand, and he gave it to Guy Gardner. And of course, Guy Gardner still had the brain damage, the Dane damage that he had, but he was, it turned him into an asshole, right? He's an asshole Green Lantern.
I actually liked the asshole Green Lantern. There's a man after my own heart. Guy's a little snarky, not afraid to tell people what he thinks of them, but also those characters, it's fun to see them get their comeuppance, and Batman most famously, and probably the most famous thing Guy Gardner ever did was get knocked out by Batman.
One punch.
And that's we love to see the jerk, but we also love to see the jerk get put on the floor once in a while.
Blue Sasquatch, quick kick, like to run in the snow with no shoes on. Hashtag facts. Sound like a Sasquatchy thing to do.
Absolutely.
But yeah, thank you for confirming that I was correct on that. But yeah, once again, if we can get a Black Canary figure, Toddy, then we can reenact the scene from Justice League International where Batman came in, knocks Guy Gardner out with one punch, and then we have Booster Gold and Blue Beetle wahahaing as Black Canary laughs her ass off as well. Shaitan's Hammer says the failed Green Lantern movie is a guilty pleasure. Look, that movie was not as bad as they made it out to be. I'm sorry, I liked it back when it came out in the movie theaters.
I don't think Ryan Reynolds when I think Hal Jordan, but I did like the movie for what it was, and I think one of the biggest shames is that we never got that sequel with Sinestro that I think is the one we really wanted. That Green Lantern Part 2 was going to be awesome, but we just never got to see it.
Yeah, it was, and I think that one of the gripes that most of the fans had was the CGI costumes. They didn't like. Come on, what do you expect? Cool. I mean, so he when he used his power ring, he made great big giant fists come out of it, and green light looking choo-choo trains and stuff. Hell, he did that in the comics, didn't he?
Right, he did. In fact, quite honestly, I loved that they kind of poked fun at that a little bit. A big giant green boxing glove to whack you. I mean, or a big giant hammer to, I mean, he always came up with something neat. The constructs were part of the fun.
CGI series was a very good series. That was almost like the Tales of the Green Lantern Corps CGI series that they did on Cartoon Network or whatever the hell it was. I watched that. That was good.
Yeah. Quite honestly, if anybody's going to watch anything Green Lantern, that would probably be the number one thing that I would recommend to anybody that's going to dive into that character.
Should be a sleeper like the Mario movie. Okay, going to see Garfield there, Blue Sasquatch. I understand it's pretty good, but all the movies are doing shitty at the movie theaters right now, and I think the movie industry in general is going to end up losing a lot of money this summer.
A lot of it is people just don't want to go. You have so many options at home. You could stream from so many different places, from so many different sources, and I could not pay for overpriced junk food. I could go to the dollar store, get a bag of gummy worms, and sit at home, stream something, and have it all done for less than $5. Whereas, go to the movie theater, and there's $20, $50 if you bring your wife.
John World Made of Cardboard. John says it was an entertaining movie. She's talking about Garfield. So, I would look. How can you screw up Garfield? And if you do screw up Garfield, you need to be strung up by your toes. Mike Fee, I believe, is referring to John Jones, the Martian Manhunter. Do you foresee a Martian Manhunter figure in the new revived Superpowers McFarlane line?
There was in the original, so why wouldn't there be in this one?
So what would the variation on that be so that it wouldn't look exactly like the other one, or will it be another outlier liar like Green Lantern?
I think it should look like the original figure. The original figure from the original Superpowers line of that wasn't bad, but if they do go in another direction, I think they should go with the 2000 Justice League cartoon style look on him. That would work best.
Okay, Gochitron's got a point about the Green Lantern movie that I want to address here. Green Lantern movie was fine, but it did a little bit too much world building by introducing Hector Hammond, Amanda Waller, etc. et al. So once again, that's Warner Brothers' shortcoming when it comes to these movies and creating their worlds. They don't. It's kind of like wrestling, okay? You got to let that storyline run for a little bit. You can't do it all in one show. Does it make sense?
It does. And if you look at it like, imagine if they would have been able to do it. It set the world building with Amanda Waller and then later tie it into Suicide Squad and have all that, coming into Batman versus Superman and set the stage slowly for have a Flash movie before Justice League, like take their time. DC's movies were the biggest drop the ball I think I saw because Marvel gave them the blueprint to how to do it right, and then they just didn't.
Well, they wanted to skip a few steps on the ladder there, and sometimes you fall when you try to go too high on the ladder and skip too many rungs. You got to build that stuff.
Well, sometimes it's time to push and get something quick, and sometimes it's time to take your time and lay down the foundation. And they were at take their time and lay down the foundation, which meant corporately we're going to have to lose to our competition, i.e., Marvel, for a little while and set the groundwork. But that way, later we could bounce them, and that's what could have happened had they done it right. Because Marvel dipped and DC could have climbed.
I do blame Schneider because he had it set in his mind that he wanted to do this Batman versus Superman movie and get all that Dark Knight Returns stuff out, and that was like way on down the line stuff. You got to establish these two characters before you do that with them.
Well, either that or you do it in reverse. It's very popular to do the ending and then work your way back from the beginning. They could have started at the ending, treated it like the ending instead of treated it like they try to treat the ending like the beginning. It didn't work.
Gilster says it's a shame that they botched Wonder Woman 84. Wonder Woman 84 was an abysmal movie. And I see you lurking around there, Susudio. Glad you joined us. You missed all the fun and games earlier when my internet took a dump. I had to make a brand new stream and everything. So yeah. Now, we've been talking this for quite a bit now, but one of the things that Jones and I discussed earlier before the show was that whenever he gets a chance to guest host on here or be a guest co-host on the Sunday show, which is not going to be often, folks, because he's got family duties. But I wanted to give him his own little section of the show called Jones's Comment Corner. And I'll make a whole scene called Jones's Comment Corner with all the bells and whistles in it at some point or another. But that's not today. But I am going to let you talk comics for a little while, man, because you're so good at it. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the main screen and let you do that. So, and I'll just be lurking in the background. You won't see my ugly mug while he's doing this. Give him a good screen. Let me go over here and bring him back up.
I might throw a couple little questions or comments your direction, sir, if you are around.
They can hear me.
Okay. One thing, especially because I grabbed a little stack of books. Mm-hmm. Now these books here are from my personal collection, so these are not for sale because I sell these too. And some comic books, if you're a fan, that one not for sale, man. That one's coming with me. So we were talking earlier about books deteriorating in condition to the point of where they might fall apart or go away. And so I thought I'd start with my version of that. I don't know how the glare is here.
We can see that pretty well there the way you're holding it. It
Okay,
looks okay
but
from on the screen, but you can tell
if
us
you
how bad
look
it is.
really close there, you can
Uh-huh.
see it is falling apart. That book is dissipating. So that does happen. Um, I still like it. I'll probably never take that out of the bag because it'll probably fall apart in my hands like the freaking um Lost Ark in the Indiana Jones movie.
Right.
Some other books that I grabbed here. Bill was I don't want to give anything away. I saw something Bill was working on and it had a moment in it where I went ah! And I talked about my love and fandom of an artist named Steve Ditko. Now Steve Ditko famously did Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and he was one of with Jack King Kirby to set Marvel in the glorious position they got. And then he went to a place called Charlton where he did his same art style with some weird stuff. So I am a big connoisseur or fan of weird Steve Ditko. And so we have a couple of these scary tales, ghostly tales, which I love this guy's art style. I mean, I know modern people would look at it and say that looks dumb, but this is a different time. But he has a very, very cool and unique style of art for his books. And I bought this one here, Bill, because I thought you'd pop on it. Um, One of my favorite comic characters is Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And I wondered, had Steve Ditko ever done any Batman? And I looked into that, and he did this issue of Man Bat #1. So you could kind of see what Batman might look like with Steve Ditko's art style, which I thought was very interesting. I was a little sad that he didn't do more. Uh, what would you think? Were you a fan of Steve Ditko's stuff, Bill?
A little before my time, but yes, what little I got to get of him, he's Spider-Man's dad, basically.
Correct. And yeah, he never got the love and respect, I think, that from the fans until later after the fact.
And one of the things that we discussed about Ditko, okay, Ditko created the question in Carlton Bullseye Comics, and of course Goji trying to love that. I was getting some feels looking at that old Carlton Bullseye logo as well there, Goji. So he went. Steve Ditko was a very interesting individual, let's just say, and he had some very interesting ideas in his head. Don't ever meet your heroes. That's what I've always heard, and it's especially true with this man. He went a step further and created Mr. A, which is basically took the question and made him the worst that he possibly could have been all the way, and Randy in the whole way.
Right.
And then he got this success with Spider-Man, and he, for the rest of his comics career, he chased that. Did he not?
I don't know if he chased it as much as the people hiring him were hoping that lightning in a bottle would strike again. I don't know if he cared a lot about success and money and things like that. I mean, he did. Of course, he wanted to write good stuff and be successful and make money. But at the same time, the art was more important than all that. The message was more important than all that. And so yeah, he had some weird characters like a Blue Beetle was, I think, obviously his attempt at trying to do Spider-Man in a different way. The Creeper in DC was because that's a wacky look and a wacky character, and you can only say, when Spider-Man first came out. I mean, Spider-Man looks normal to us now, but at the time in the '60s when that came out, that was wacky looking. What the heck is this? And so it shook up the industry. And I think a lot of the people that hired him, DC, Carlton, they wanted to see that if that lightning in the bottle could happen again like that, and it never did.
So Goji brings up Ditko worked on series for both Gorgo and Conga for Carlton, and he has them both in trade paperbacks and it's great monster stuff. Yes.
It is. Ditko does weird like nobody else. I mean, his Doctor Strange stuff is out of this world. It's almost psychedelic before psychedelic was even a thing. You know, he is definitely a one of a kind.
Let me try to keep up with the chat here a little bit. I'm gonna name off some of this here real quick. Okay, so Daniel St. John loved Ditko's work on Blue Beetle, Captain Atom, another Carlton character, The Question, and Nightshade. Shaitan's Hammer says, speaking of Green Lanterns, he wants that Space Patrol / Lensman movie, which you're getting kind of deep there. Some folks may not understand what that is. Can you give them a little update there, Jones, or comic book guy?
I don't know if I know what we're talking about here. A Space Patrol Lensman movie.
The Lensman. I'm aware of what it is, but I'm not up on my lore there, Shaitan. You might want to give a little exposition to those who don't know. Daniel St. John said he left Spider-Man when Steve Ditko left Spider-Man.
A lot of fans did, and there were good books after Ditko. Romita had a good run too, and there were some good Spider-Man books after Ditko left, but it wasn't the same. It changed to a more commercial style, and there's a clear line pre-Ditko, post-Ditko, you know, or Ditko and then after Ditko, I should say.
And I did not realize that Ditko did Squirrel Girl. Gojitron brought that up.
I did not know that either. I did not know that.
Thank you, Gojitron. You're helping me, the comic book guy there that's supposed to know all this shit. Pumping Iron.
I think I have her.
There you go.
I think I have her first appearance, so I might have to look at that. That is weird enough to where that could be Ditko's work. I'll have to dig in and see.
Well, let me talk to Nightwing real quick. He's out there working out right now. This is a workout freak. He is good at working out. I've seen his workout. He sent me a couple videos of that, and he touched my heart. Nightwing, you stay forward, my brother. You stay pointing straight forward. No matter how much pushback that you get from this goddamn world that we live in, no matter how many steps backward it pushes you, you keep pointing in the forward direction, my friend. Next, Shaitan's Hammer tells us that the Lensman is like a Green Lantern kind of. I don't want to use the word rip off. I want to use a homage, maybe, where the lens is like the ring, and these guys are like some kind of a space patrol, and they're called the Lensmen, and they use these lenses. I'm aware of what that is. I just don't know the lore of it, if that makes sense. Gilster asked, did Bill Finger ever work for Marvel or Timely?
That I'm aware of.
No, he was always working for, he didn't work for DC. He worked for Bob Kane, if I'm not mistaken.
That's about right.
These are empowered Space Corps Lensmen. Okay, space cops.
Predated the Green Lanterns. It was before Green Lantern.
Okay. Green Hornet and Kato figures, once again, says Nightwing. Keep your eye on what Toyota's working on with Power Stars and Longbox Heroes. You might get your wish on those two at some point or another. I know they're doing Zorro in Power Stars, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gojitron. It's either Power Stars or Longbox. They're going to do Zorro, and who's the little fat guy that's in the Mexican army that he's always fighting, putting the Z on his fat belly?
I can't remember the name.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
You're very welcome, my friend. All right, so there we go. Still not caught up. Mike B says, Gojitron says, Marvel Superheroes number 8, 1991, First Squirrel Girl. And
it does still have good value. That's probably $100 book all day long. The one I have in the condition it's in, probably I'd be lucky to get 10, 15 bucks. I have a very poor copy of that, which is good news for me. I could pull that sucker out and read it. And thinking about it now, that is some goofy artwork in there. I bet that is Steve Ditko's stuff. I'm going to have to take a closer look at that. I haven't looked at that story since when it came out in 1991. So I was young then. That's the last time I actually read it.
Okay, Gojitron got me. Power Stars with Boss Fight Studios is doing the Zorro figures, and the Sergeant Garcia is his foil. They're doing Zorro and
There you
Sergeant
go.
Garcia figures in the Power Star line. And Shaitan's Hammer says, okay, now deep dive Lensman post to go along with my Dune post. So if you're not following Shaitan's Hammer, and I think he's RJ Ryder, so it's RJ Ryder on Instagram. You will get daily posts from him. You can also follow him here on YouTube. He does a lot of community posts, which are basically the same thing he's doing on Instagram. And he's been deep diving Dune and taking the movie, the latest movie series apart by their. They've been kind of straying away from the book. So, yeah. And thank you, Joneser. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you for putting that up there. So you guys got a link to follow. All right, back to where we were. I got
just a couple more books to go through here, maybe 5 of them, and then we can move on. But I got some old Dick Tracy books, Harvey and Dell. This is a Dick Tracy from 1948.
And I see that green hat on his head. You know he had the green hat in the comic strip as well.
Yes. Yes, that's the iconic look. But later they did change it to that yellow hat that we all know now. That's a great cover. I love that book. And then, of course, we've got action figure Dick Tracy with no yellow coat.
Right.
He did appear. He did appear without the yellow coat once in a while too. You know, the characters all have different looks. These last couple books, I just got at a con that I did. I had a booth at, and there were some other people there, other vendors, and sometimes vendors trade books or buy from each other as well because we're all geeks and we love this stuff too. And one thing I got here is a Fantastic Four annual number 5, and this is the first appearance of the Psycho Man. Let me see if I can get that sticker off there so you can actually see him. I don't want to take it out of the bag.
I don't take it out of the bag, Jones, or don't take it out of the bag.
No,
every time I would do that, the piece of tape would always stick to the down back cover of the comic and piss me off.
Right, and then the last one I got here is a really wow one. I think it's gonna geek you out, especially Bill. Oh come on, I almost got this. Here we go. Okay, get that sticker off so you can actually see his face. There's a Psycho Man.
And I see Black Bolt, and is that Medusa?
Yeah, the Inhumans are a big part of that issue. And I got this for a decent enough price. And very nice guy who bought a few books off of me as well. So we offsetted value. You know, he spent a little more money than I did. So I gave him some of it back by buying one off him. And then this was the one I was the most proud of to get that day. And I spent $75 on it, but when you see what book it is, you're going to go like, ooh, that might be pretty decent price for this book. It is Batman number 232. It's the first appearance of Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Okay.
A very cool cover, very iconic. I love that Ra's in the background there with that. And you got, the bum, bum, bum moment where Robin's getting shot, and we think, oh, he dies, So, yeah, I did spend a little money on this, but I figured this is the last time I'm ever going to see one in my hands that I could get for under $100. It's just not going to happen again.
Oh, you got Gojitron's attention on that one. Nice.
Yeah, that one was on the bucket list. And like I said, I did not think that I would ever see one in my hands for under $100. So I was like, I have to buy this.
And Shaitan's Hammer says he wants some of that Ross facial hair.
Right. Is it Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul, or Raz al Ghul? Help me out here, Bill.
Yes.
Yes. That is the best answer ever.
All right. I'll bite, Jones, or I'll bite. Okay, so the Batman cartoon show, the Batman Adventures cartoon show by Paul Dini was Ra's al Ghul. And Ras Al Ghul was what we called him, much like I called Submariner back in the day. And then there's Ross Al Ghul. I think it's all dependent upon the Caribbean, potato, tomato.
We were talking about that earlier with the other different comic pronunciations, and that was one that I knew when I pulled that book. I'm like, one, Bill's gonna like this book because this is his era of Batman that he enjoys, and two, we could segue into that. Is it Ra's al Ghul? Is it Raz al Ghul? Is it Raz al Ghul? Or what al Ghul? Oh, at least we're not arguing about the al Ghul pronunciation. It's just those first three letters.
One of the most famous magicians that no one knows is the professor himself, the one that all the magicians learned from at the Magic Castle until his death, and that was the great Dai Vernon. His first name was David, and back in the day, all of his friends called him Day, and he spelled his name Dai when he would write it down, Day Vernon. But everybody looked at Dai and pronounced it Die. So whenever a magician, well, you're going to put that up there. So let me go ahead and get me back on the screen here. So whenever a magician would come along and to get Dai Vernon's autograph or to have him show him a card trick or learn something from him, they would always invariably ask him, well, is it Dave Vernon or Dai Vernon? And Vernon's answer was either or either.
There you go. Either or either.
So we're getting a collage of pictures from different comic covers here on Joneser's side over there, so you guys can look at that. Catch up with the chat here. Gojutron says, I've heard that the difference between Raz and Ra's is either Hebrew or Arabic pronunciation. I'll go along with that. That sounds reasonable. Shaitan's Hammer says head of the demon or demon's head. So depending upon how you want to interpret that, I don't know if that's true or not. I love that issue right there. I think that's the Brave and the Bold first appearance of the Justice League of America. Iconic. And notice there's no Superman, Batman in that because they were just honorary members of the Justice League at that time.
Correct. I dug deep for some of these. I thought you would enjoy them.
Or it could be a switch out and make him a mortal man tricking people. Okay. All right, Shaitan. Shaitan's got an interesting perspective on things. I like hearing from him. Question for Joneser. DC Marvel team up Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate, Spider-Man and Nightwing, Deadpool, and Red Hood. I think Nightwing's asking you if these would be good DC Marvel team ups.
Doctor Strange, Dr. Fate would be a no-brainer. That's the definite magic guys. That would be a lot of fun. The one that got me the most interested actually was the Spider-Man Nightwing team up. That would be fun. They did do Spider-Man and Batman going after Joker and Carnage in the 90s. That was a very fun read. I do think that Spider-Man and Nightwing would probably get on better than Spider-Man and Batman would, just because they're probably more similar type characters. Deadpool and Red Hood, I just think they'd try to kill each other rather than team up.
So I'm gonna take it that Shaitan's Hammer didn't like Qui-Gon Jinn, Ra's al Ghul over there on Batman Begins.
Yeah, that was okay. I mean, they didn't do it the comic lore or any of that, but I have to admit, as far as if you're just watching Batman Begins for a movie, And I love that actor. You have taken my daughter, and I will find you, and I will hunt you down. I love that guy. I could watch that guy play anything. He did a great Dark Man. I don't know if you remember that.
I
That's kind of a
do.
corny B movie, but it's still fun.
I loved that damn movie when it came out.
I did
I
too.
ate that movie up.
Me too. Same, and it's one that doesn't get a lot of love. Not a lot of people remember it or go back to it. But that one was a lot of fun, and that was the beginning of my knowing him as an actor.
Liam Neeson.
Yes.
I want Lazarus Pitts, and then he's noping me on Liam Neeson, Qui-Gon Jinn, Ra's al Ghul. Deathstroke versus the Punisher. Who would win? Deathstroke versus the Punisher.
That's tough because Deathstroke takes on some pretty tough opponents, but Punisher is funny to me because he tends to defeat people he has no business defeating often. He's just one of those guys.
Now, when we're talking about the Terminator, Deathstroke, the Terminator is what we always called him. He is a straight. One of them is a straight up rip off of the other. Deadpool and him. Now, one of them Slade Wilson, the other one's Wilson Slade.
Deadpool was the rip off. Deathstroke came out. Basically, the guy drew him, and the guy called him on it. He said, "Dude, this is Deathstroke with Spider-Man mixed in," and he's like, "Guilty." Like they did. They took a Slade Wilson was Deathstroke, and so they made Deadpool Wade Wilson just to, why not?
Liam Neeson has special skills.
He does.
I like him as Qui-Gon Jinn personally.
I like him in anything. I watched somebody steal his daughter 3 times, and for him to get her back, and each time it got worse. And each time I watched it.
Yeah, I watched the first one. I haven't seen the others. I'm not a big sequel guy. The sequel's got to be a damn good sequel for me to go see it.
It's like seeing Home Alone 2 or Home Alone 3. Like, oh, we forgot the kid again. How'd this happen? You almost. I want to say by the third was like, you are going to be taken again. But it'll be okay because this time I'm going to find you again.
Well, that's the old sequel trope that basically they remake the same movie over again. And yes, Rob Liefeld totally copped to the ripoff, says Gojatron.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Nightwing says the Riddler, he couldn't even finish a bag of popcorn. Speaking of Riddler figures, you know what my thinking is on that Superpowers Riddler figure that they're coming out with that they teased us? I think that's going to be a Legion of Doom Riddler figure.
That would be cool. What I'm afraid of is you're just going to see that head on a painted body, and then there you go.
Well, Predator. That's what Asiato was back in the day when what was it? Little Letty, how those South American companies that did those. Just like Starlin said, Thanos was inspired by Darkseid. And, what the funny thing about that was, Gojatron, if you remember correctly, all the kiddies who knew who Thanos was thought that Darkseid was the ripoff of Thanos and not the other way around.
That's typical on a lot of that, and sometimes the ripoff one's actually cooler than the original one, and then sometimes it's not. It just depends.
And, well, I will give Thanos his due. He's got a Thanos copter, but there is no Darkseid copter.
Right. Yeah, bright yellow. My favorite is that, and I want this book. That's another one I want for my personal collection. The Electric Company Spider-Man Super Stories, where the 2 police officers take Thanos away in handcuffs. That is just classic. Like, are you kidding me?
Spidey Super Stories.
Right. Let's walk Thanos to jail.
Those comics existed in their own universe. They were not connected to anything.
I have 1 or 2 of them, but I want that one with the yellow Thanos copter and the cops walking them away. That's just too funny to me.
Dave's Dimension says Rick James in the house. Hey Dave, how's it going, man? Good to see you, sir. Chaitan's Hammer says he wants his superheroes to be in big, expensive worlds, hopefully looking like they should. You know, he's going to be in for a world of disappointment, my friend. Liam Neeson was in Leap of Faith with Steve Martin, Deborah Winger, and Meatloaf. There you go, Studio. Give us a little bit of that trivia. Spidey super stories were the best, says Gojatron. Didn't Kenner make Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Didn't Kenner make a Dark Side vehicle? Yes, the Dark Side Destroyer, which had a central pod for Dark Side to sit in, 2 wings with little pods on the end for his minions to sit in, and it looked like that as soon as he flew, they would fall away. So it was an interesting vehicle. Yes. Not as cool as the Thanos copter by no means. No. And Thanos has a better motivation in the comics, selfish love for his Lady Death. They didn't even touch that in the movies, that he was in love with death.
They hinted at it for a cup of coffee at the end credit scene of the first Avengers movie, where they said those who will fight him will covet death, and they showed him smirk, and that was the only nod to that they even touched. They never went back to it. They did nothing. I'd have to say, for those comics, that was very funny for me, watching him try to gain her favor and watching her just show such disdain and indifference to him, even after he did everything she wanted. Typical woman.
You just be glad your wife don't watch your show, brother.
I'd be in so much trouble if she watched this.
And here we go, folks. They're sitting there digging out Cole the Conqueror here. Thank you guys for bringing that to my attention that I had forgotten all about. Shaitan's Hammer says, see, I love Darkseid, but it's easier to get a Thanos figure. I don't know. Toxic could come out with a Darkseid figure, classic Darkseid figure in his 7-inch line. I don't like that figure at all. I'm sorry. I like the Herbie look of Darkseid. I do not like that.
I would have preferred a more classic look to him, to be honest with you, but this works for me. I'll take it. You know, I mean, I had a classic Darkseid action figure as a kid. I'm not sure. It had to be Superpowers, I guess. Did they have another one from anything else?
Oh, I love you, Gojatron. Desaad and Calabac get to sit on the wings, and I don't think Darkseid would care if they fell off or not. Probably not.
Probably not.
I like joints. I used to like them too, but I haven't touched one of those in years. Oh, God. Tell the story, Joneser.
Oh, dude. Okay, Bill and I were off air, and we were talking a bunch of nonsense that we got off to when we were kids and going to the movie theaters and seeing movies. And one of the things we talked about is there's the movie theater, the good movie theater in town, you know, where everybody goes to see good movies. And then there's the ratty, you know, the 20-room movie theater in the shady part of town. Where,
Dollar theater with the also ran movies in it with the sticky floor. And sometimes you're the only one in the theater. And if you're not, some guy's in the back getting a BJ with his girlfriend back there. Yeah.
Well, what's funny is I was out in San Diego, California, and there's this area called El Cajon, and which was, you know, a little seedy, and in certain parts, and they had this movie theater. It's not even there anymore, called the Krikorian. And so my parents, in their infinite wisdom, dropped me and my friend off there, and we were to the age where we were a little older, so we were a little 13, 14, and I'm going to tell you,
told you not to go there, but go ahead.
Shit. Anyway, I was a little bit of a delinquent, up to no good, and we snuck in one of them joiny things there that Shade Hammer was talking about, and we were watching a movie called Jason Goes to Hell. And it was the I think the 9th or 10th Jason movie, Friday the 13th, who knows. Well, we go in the theater and we sit down and we look, and there's nobody in there. It's empty. And so we're like, cool. Then the movie comes on, we're watching it, and then my buddy pulls the thing out, and he's like, so we're like, sure. So we figure nobody in there. Who's gonna know? You know? So we're enjoying this thing, watching Jason immortalize people, laughing. And all of a sudden we hear footsteps. And someone's coming our way. Oh, now the thing goes kind of in the lap. We'll blow it out. We're like, we're in trouble. And so we're waiting, and this guy comes walking up, thud, thud, thud. We're like, oh man, it's gonna be the usher or somebody to tell us to get out of here. Or he's calling the cops or whatever. And this dude leans over and he sees the two of us, and we sit there, we look up at him, we're, you know, and nobody's saying nothing. And he leans in a little closer and he's just staring at us. And then finally we're looking back up at him and he says, are you going? Oh,
You're still, they can still hear you.
Sorry about that. But yeah, he says, so you guys gonna pass me that thing or what? There you go. And he hands it back to us and he's like, yeah, you owe me. I've watched this damn thing 8 times. It was the feller up in the booth who hit the button on the freaking reel to reel so it would play the movie. And he's just sitting probably up there watching us, and he's like, oh, what the heck.
Big shout out, Ted Darkclaw in the house while he's packing orders. He's listening to us. Thank you, sir, for being here, Ted. It's been a long time, brother. I was talking to Ted the other day. There's an order I've got out, pre-order that's coming, and
give me a second. I gotta take that call.
Sure, you go ahead. You take that call. Anyway, Ted's like, well, you know, it's not coming in anytime soon, so if you want to cancel, I'm like, no, sir, I ordered it from you. I'm going to get it from you, and I'll just wait. Well, thank you, Ted. I appreciate you, sir, and we support you here on Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. And Gojitron and he are doing business here. Thanks for the order, Gojitron, says Ted Darkclaw. So I hope everything's going well with you. We've had a pretty good show today. Joneser will be back with us here in just a second. He's got to get that phone call going. I'm going to continue with the chat. You guys keep them going. I'll keep talking. Friday the 13th, Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell. I went when that came out with a pretty girl and got lucky that night. Horror movies are the best. Yay! You're welcome, sir. You're very welcome. And, yep, Mike Fee with us today. I hope you're feeling better, Mike. I know you were tired as hell the other day. Miss Jamie came in and told us that you were tired, but you were doing okay. So we were happy to hear that. And very happy to help you meet your goal there for your surgery. I think you said that it's going to be on the 12th. Am I correct on that there, Mike? Shaitan's Hammer says, I love how they used to put totally not related content on the comics. That's a trope, man. That all comics were like that. It took me a long time because I wasn't that bright when I was a little kid to realize that the scene on the cover of the comic hardly ever, if ever, occurred actually in the comic itself. And I'm glad to know that you're doing okay. Could I go back to Superpowers Wave 9? Yes, sir. I'll be glad to do that. Let me go over here and get that up for us. June 12th. Yes, Bill, thank you. Okay, I thought I was right on that. All right, so what exactly are you looking for there, Mr. St. John? This is Wave 9, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm going to go all the way to the top of Toy Habits' website. Thank you, Toy Habits. There we can see the monitor screen there at that Comic-Con or that convention or whatever, where it shows that they will be coming out in the summer, this summer, Booster Gold, Green Lantern, Batman, Manta, and Fleischer Superman. That's Wave 8. You want to go back to Wave 9. So let me take that off the screen. Go down here where it's at in the sources of my scene here. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? All right, now we'll. Here it is. All right. Chrome window off, super power release on. Here we go. That's wave 9, right? Bizarro, Aquaman Gold, Batman Black and Gray, Riddler, Superman Classic, Wonder Woman Gold, and the Justice Society 3-pack Starman, Green Lantern, and Hourman. Is that what you're talking about, Daniel? That's wave 9, right? Yeah. See, it used to make me mad. That what you saw on the comic cover never actually occurred in the comic. Yeah,
that's common practice.
Big Batman. Yeah, that's that Hush book. The JSA figures in Wave 9, Starman, Green Lantern, and Hourman. I don't have any pictures of those. I just have this leaked list that I got from a good source. What do you think? I think that it will. The Green Lantern will look like Alan Scott is supposed to look like. I'm hoping that Hourman will be in his classic JSA costume from what was that book that Roy Thomas was doing? The All-Star Squadron.
Sure.
Hourman and Starman, I hope, will look just like they did in All-Star Squadron. And if you remember, before All-Star Squadron, they used to do those JSA, JLA crossovers where it would always be a crisis, which that ultimately led to Crisis on Infinite Earth. But remember, there was Crisis on Earth 1 and then Crisis on Earth 2, and that's when they actually got to meet the Justices. Susudio says, I missed the very beginning. The power went out sometime after your stream last night, and my phone died, and I was on the charger. It was completely dead. Did I miss the music and fun? No, we haven't gotten to music and fun yet, to be honest with you. We've been having a discussion. But we can get into some music and fun here in a minute because it's getting about that time. But you missed the beginning of the stream when my power didn't go out, but my internet went patooey and spit me offline, and I had to get back on. And so if you look back at my lives here, you're going to see 2 live streams for today's show. One of them is the beginning and the other one is this one. So I do have a music and fun list up, Joneser. Let me bring that up here now.
Cool.
Look at it. So here we have our music and fun list. I have a playlist of select from this list. If you guys want to make a request, we could certainly entertain that if you guys would like. And back to me and John.
Absolutely.
Back to me and John. Did you see what you needed to see there, Daniel St. John? Have I answered your question? That's what I want to ask. What do I think of the Justice Society of America 3-pack? I think it's a good idea to put figures like that in a 3-pack, kind of like they did with the Peacemaker and Vigilante and Judo Master, whatever his name was. You know what I like? Well, I know you like those ugly little songs, and I like them too because they're funny. But I'm not going to play those unless I get some incentive to play them, because for 2 reasons. One, we've got a toy show going on today, and there may be some listeners with young ears. And the other one is I always get the IDs on those, because the guy that I am using his music for artistic purposes over here. He has got his music, his AI generated music, mind you, in the YouTube copyright ID system. So I get an ID on those, and I'm trying to avoid those if I can possibly. But
right.
If you guys are ready, you got anything to say before I do this, Jones?
Not a word. Let's rock out. There's some music and fun. Have some fun.
There we go. Music and fun, folks. We've got a nice little set here.
It's time for music and fun on Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures.
We know a guy with a real cool scene. He roams the streets in his wild machine with a full race engine and wheels of mag. He spends every night just looking for drags. Digger of the way out dragster with a gear shift knob high above team with two big slicks and a head full of steam. Digger the way out dragster. Anywhere there's a race, you'll find him there. Any time of day now, he doesn't care. One thing for sure, he always tries to win. And if you aren't convinced, you'll have to go him again. Of all the kids, he's the fastest around. Race after race, he always shuts them down. Every night he's the king of the street. He's the way out dragster who can't be beat. Digger the way out dragster. We know a guy with a real cool scene. He roams the streets in his wild machine with a full race engine and wheels of mag. He spends every night just looking for drags. Digger the way out dragster. Anywhere there's a race, you'll find him there. Any time of day now, he doesn't care. One thing for sure, he always tries to win. And if you aren't convinced, you'll have to go him again. Of all the kids, he's the fastest around. Race after race, he always shuts them down. Every night he's the king of the street. He's the way out dragster who can't be beat. Digger the way out dragster.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. It's you must go, and I must buy. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow. Oh, when the valley's hushed and white with snow, it's I'll be in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. But when he come and all the flowers are dying, if I am dead instead, I will maybe you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave for me, and I shall hear the soft you tread above me, and all my grave warmer, sweeter be, for you will live and tell me that you love me, and I shall sleep in peace until you come to me.
Flames are pouring from the buildings now. There's cars toppled, buildings entire, just crushed and crumbled. I'm not sure if it's safe to report from my vantage point. I really need to leave. Civil Defense has informed me that the surrounding areas are in ruin. I see some people running now. In the opinion of this reporter, if this nation, or in fact the world, ever needed heroes, that time is now. That time is now.
back. It ended a lot sooner than I thought it was, as I was busy over here looking to see what's going on the YouTubies after this is over with, Joneser. I was looking to see if Sir Clifton was going to be doing anything today on Attorney and Ellipse, and I did not see anything posted over there. But if you are not subscribed to him, please do. And he needs, he's going towards his 100. And get the notification bell on, because he sometimes doesn't give you a whole lot of notice when he goes up. Also at 2:30 today over on Wilhelm Toy and Hobby, we have the 118 with Largo and Wilhelm over there. They're going to be coming up here today. And
Thomas, Will, and Largo going?
2:30.
Okay, so pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon. So yeah, if you guys want to head over there and see them, let them know I sent you. Also, I believe Joneser might be doing something this afternoon as well.
I'm shooting for 4 o'clock, 4 or 5.
Okay,
somewhere around there.
Well, what are we playing today? We're playing some more ghosties, or are we playing something different?
No, it's going to be a little different this time. We're going to do some toys and comics. I'm muxing a little videos, and we're going to stick more with, you know, what most of the material on my channel is. You know, the ghosties I'm going to keep for the late, in the middle of the night stuff. It's dark and spooky. And yeah, I'm thinking we'll get to toys and stuff during the day.
All right. Well, you have a great day too, Radical Mom. Glad everyone could be here. We'll see you all next time here on We're Fantastic Toy Adventures. In the meantime, stay fantastic, keep collecting, and good journey. Special thanks to the channel supporters. Without your help, these adventures would not be possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's adventure, please hit like, subscribe, and share the video.